I poisoned my victims, made them into soaps and cookies, and distributed them in the neighborhood. I am Leonarda Cianciulli, better known as the soap maker of Correggio. I was born in Montella, Italy, on November 14, 1893. At the age of 21, I married Raffaele Pansardi, with whom I had 4 children. But when my unemployed husband became an alcoholic over the years, I left him. However, this was not to be my only stroke of fate. When my favorite child and eldest son Giuseppe was called up for military service, I could no longer find peace out of fear for his life. I developed a secret and creepy plan that involved making human sacrifices to protect my son from any evil that lay ahead during the war. Divination and tarot cards were the perfect way to attract future victims. I decided to act and invited friends from the neighborhood over for tea and cake. My first victim was my friend Faustina Setti. When she came over one day, I offered her a glass of wine. In this glass, I had previously dissolved sleeping pills. When Faustina fell asleep, I took an axe and cut her body into 9 pieces. I threw the pieces into a cauldron, added 7 kilograms of sodium hydroxide, and stirred until it was a dark, thick mass. From this I made a soap, which I later sold in my small store. With the victim's blood, I waited until it had coagulated and put it in the oven to dry. Then I mixed it with flour, sugar, chocolate, milk, and eggs. Lots of crispy cookies were baked from it, which I distributed to the next guests and visitors. I myself and my children also ate from them. In the same way, I later killed my 2 other friends before processing their bodies. Again, I distributed the bars of soap and cookies as gifts to neighbors and acquaintances. But when the sister of my last victim became concerned about her sister's whereabouts, she contacted the police. Since she was last seen in front of my house, the police eventually searched the house where they found the jewelry of the victim. I was arrested and, after confessing, sentenced to 30 years in prison, followed by 3 years in a care facility for the mentally disabled. Of this sentence, I served only 24 years. Because on October 15, 1970, at the age of 77, I died in Pozzuoli prison after suffering a stroke. Some of the objects, such as the axe and the cauldron that served as murder weapons and instruments, can still be seen today in the Criminal Museum in Rome.